Bond market volatility is back with moves this morning in the U.S. Treasury yield curve that are difficult to describe. Earlier this morning, we had every yield across the curve lower except for the 30-year bond yield, which was up 4 basis points. Then just before the stock market opened, we had all yields except for the 2-year yield and the 3-year yield higher, which were both down by 2 basis points. And now that we're going into the meat of the morning stock market trade, we have all yields across the curve higher, with the 10-year yield up 6 basis points, sitting at 4.07%, and the 30-year yield sitting at 4.53%, up 12 basis points. Overnight data from the UK, the house price index, and Germany, industrial production data, and they were both lower than expected. But also the CME Fed Watch tool now has 6 rate cuts priced in through the end of 2026, with the first one happening in June, followed by 3 more consecutive 25 basis points cuts for a total of 4 rate cuts through January 28th of 2026. Gold is still lower, but silver is up over 2.5%. Copper is lower by 2.3%, and crude oil is currently lower by 1.1%, but it dropped over 3% earlier through the 59 level to 58.95 before rallying back to above $61 where it sits right now. Stocks are lower again, but have been positive on the day in the S&P and the NASDAQ. As I speak to you right now, the Dow is down 1.8%, the S&P is down 1.2%, the NASDAQ is down 0.4%, and the Russell is down 1.2%, but all 4 are coming off the lows pretty sharply. The NFIB Small Business Optimism Index is due out tomorrow, and in the U.S., the recent stock market sell-off is unlikely to be fully reflected in its release. This is the March data, which would have been collected in late March when there was some market sell-off already in, but certainly not the last couple of days of activity. It still may be weak, however. Looking ahead, it's the calm before the storm of a new earnings season, which officially begins on Friday. But tomorrow, before the open, we do have RPM International, Walgreens Boots Alliance, WD-40, and Tilray Brands reporting earnings. Tonight, in terms of data, National Australia Bank's business confidence data, and tomorrow we get Canadian PMI data, the Small Business Optimism Index I already mentioned, and a 3-year note auction in the U.S. And keep an eye on foreign stock markets over the next few days, as they were much more beat up in terms of change on the day than the U.S. was, at least at this point.